messieurs, que ça me ville rempli. Comme normal, c'est vendredi, c'est que ça nous a fait, messieurs. Donc, allez, bienvenue, messieurs, sur Paul Sansion, Creole, another edition of our Creole Heartbeat program, where we'll be actually dealing with Calypso judging. And then we also have a few Calypsonians that may just pass by and give us a sneak preview into some of the songs that they are going to be performing. As a matter of fact, some of them are already into the quarterfinals. And they will be passing through a few of the ladies, hopefully Trendsetter, Lady S, also Luscious should be passing through. But with us is one of the judges, and she's Natasha Henderson, the beautiful daughter of Gordon Henderson, the legendary iconic figure, the creator, one of the creators of Calypso music. Natasha has been involved in Calypso for several years. I remember she as a junior Calypso monarch way back when. She's a singer, she's a writer, she's a manager, a radio analyst, and also a Calypso judge. But today we'll be dealing with Calypso judging. From Natasha. Good morning to you, Nats. How are you?
Good morning, Wadix. Good morning to all the listeners. Doing very well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, the original Tasha.
Right. The first Tasha of Calypso.
The first Tasha, but you were not a Tasha P.
Right.
How are things?
Yeah, doing well, doing very well. Very excited about the season, like every year. And looking forward to a very productive program this morning.
Normally, you are a Calypso judge.
Right.
You have been doing so for how many years? Tell our listeners.
Okay, putting it together because I've been in and out of Dominica, and over maybe 10 years or so, a little more or less. Yes, at various times. Yeah.
But prior to that, you have been involved in Calypso.
Oh yes, oh yes. I've been involved with Calypso all my life from the tender age of like 5 years growing up at DBS and being with my mother who was involved with the Calypso Association way back when it was a little old house on the High Street. You know, you mentioned, I've sung Calypso. I had the opportunity to sing along the Great Mighty Sparrow and Natasha Wilson. We might remember One Day. I tell you, One Day. Yes. And these are lovely childhood and teenage memories. But over the years, I've been involved, you know, living out of Dominica. I've always kept up with what's taking place in our Calypso here in Dominica. So, you know.
Okay, Tasha, just get a little closer to me as we facilitate the beautiful Lady S. Or is Lady S still? Or Sugar S, which one? Lady S, sweet. S for sweet. But I know her. Shelly, good morning to you, my dear.
Good morning.
As usual, a beautiful voice. Everything is okay with you? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Another Calypso season?
Yes, it's on.
And you made it to the quarters?
I did.
Okay, so we'll talk about that, but we want to the first part, we want to deal with the judging of Calypso because we have so many misconceptions about judging, and sometimes fans come here with their favorites. And when their favorite doesn't make it, one way or the other, the judges fall. Yes. So we try to go to the fundamentals of some of those areas, the criterion for some of those judging. But you historically, like we were saying, your mother, the librarian then, and also announcer at DBS Radio. Your father also.
Yes, my father was actually the first junior monarch, Calypso monarch of Dominica. Yes.
As a mighty B.
Right.
Gordon Henderson, the mighty B.
And I got involved with Calypso, released an album in 88 as a student of the Convent High School. I did not actually compete because at the time there was a bit of controversy. It seems like my material was a little too much for the junior, but I was too young for the adult female competition. So I just released the album and had fun with that. It was, you know, recorded with Ophelia, Dennis Joseph, Levi involved, and so on. And I did my bit. And in fact, my two children both got involved in Calypso. My first one, Ali, reached second place in the Junior Monarch. And my second born, Adjani, he was actually the ex-tempo Calypso champion of St. Lucia out of 19 schools. He topped that and got the top place.
Okay, let's
so Calypso is a family affair.
It's a family affair. And also your writer.
Yes.
Gordon, I guess you would have gotten the chromosomes from your father directly.
Yes. As they say, chien pas café chat.
Chien pas café chat. I love that. But very importantly, let's go through Dominic Calypso Association created a criteria.
Mhm.
Lyrics 35 points,
Right.
melody 25 points,
Mhm.
rendition 20 points, presentation 10 points.
Right.
Normally there are sub criterion
Mhm.
on every category.
Right.
Let's deal with lyrics first for the 5 points, and then we can say we can go for the sub criteria.
Okay, yes. Now, before we go through the criteria, let me just say for the Calypsonians or and hopefuls who are listening, we have someone who is very knowledgeable when it comes to the criteria for Calypso. That's Ian Jackson, who conducts workshops throughout the year. And very recently, we had our very first encounter between judges and Calypsonians. There were a lot of Calypsonians who needed that information who were not present. So I just want to urge all Calypsonians, get in touch with the association, get into the workshops that are organized by Ian Jackson, find out more about the criteria because it was very surprising to note at our last encounter that there are Calypsonians who were saying that, oh my, it's the first time they were hearing of the criteria. So it's like, how do you take part in a competition and you don't know the criteria? Are you going to run 100-meter race and you don't know where the marks are? Somebody just tell you just run towards the gate and you run and you don't know. That is, it's similar to that. It's you need to know what the criteria is
So some of the Calypsonians are taking part in the competition,
yeah,
and they are not aware.
They are not
of the
aware
fundamentals,
of
the characteristics of the criteria.
Right. And I also want to say too that there are some who know it very well, especially some of the regulars in the final who understand what the criteria is, and therefore they are able to prepare accordingly. And you are not at an advantage if you don't know what the criteria is. And so it is very important to take that part of it and understand what part of the criteria lies on the writer and the musicians and what you are responsible for. So to come to answer your question, yes, we have points over 100. The total is 100 points. We have 35 points for lyrics. And on the lyrics, we are looking at the structure of your calypso, the narrative, coherence, originality, that sort of thing. So basically, that lies on the writer. It might be yourself as a Calypsonian or someone that you work with. So we need to have a story that makes sense, basically. Melody, we're looking at
Let's deal with the lyrics still, because some people may feel because certain songs are political, they are stronger than other songs. But then that's not true.
That's not true. It has to do with being relevant. It happens that we know the political climate, political social climate in Dominica. We are always in election mode, I would say. So it happens that politics is relevant all the time. When we compare with St. Lucia, for example, 2 weeks ago, we had an exercise among the judges where we judged an entire Calypso competition in St. Lucia. Not one political song because it was out of political season. In Dominica, it's totally different. So if you come with your political song, relevant, yes, you could come with another topic because Calypso is life. But once there's relevance, and you can see you have a very fair chance, because if you are a judge, as a judge and a real judge, we are going to follow the criteria. There is no criteria that states it should be about politics.
Okay.
So once your material is relevant, we are, you have a fair chance.
Okay, so in lyrics, first of all, there is the title of the song, I guess, on the topic. And then the sub criteria are the narration. You said narrate.
It's the structure.
The structure.
The narrative.
When you say structure, what you mean?
Okay, how your song. Okay, if for example you come with a song, it's like a composition, right? We're looking for an introduction, we're looking for body, we're looking for conclusion. So how you bring forth the information that you're sharing with us. If you're all over the place talking about the airport, and then you're talking about domestic violence, you're talking about, there needs to be a structure. And as I said, the workshop will give much more detail because there's a lot to be said. We'll be here for 2 hours if we were to really, give
no, but
I
want us to take some time and break it down, like even if we appreciate, but I want us to do that because a lot of the ardent fans may know,
Right.
but then a lot of Calypso people that are involved in the Calypso, like you said a while ago, not even sometimes Calypsonians themselves are not even aware. When we said narrative, because you're going to be actually grading Calypsos on the narrative, the various aspects of the criteria. Narrative, what do you look for?
Okay. So in the narrative, we're looking at how you tell the story. Okay. So let us look at a calypso is a composition, as I said, and we're looking at the manner in which you bring that information in a way that is easily understood and in a way that makes sense. So it's how you tell the story. Okay, as opposed to how you structure it, what you come with first. You can have a song where you start out on something and there's a flashback, how you present it. So the structure is really the order, the narrative is the words that you use, how you tell the story, and you bring out your message.
And in terms of, you said relevance earlier on?
No, relevance is not a criterion.
A criterion, no.
But I was just saying that your topic should be relevant. And not on
it
any
doesn't necessarily
specific.
have to be relevant.
It doesn't have to be relevant, but something we can identify with, something that that is current is always better. It comes through better. But my point on relevance really had to do with the fact that when you ask the question about a political song,
Okay.
Once it's relevant, it's okay, but it does not have to be any specific topic.
Okay. Now you said 35 points. For do you look for, let's say, recurring?
Right. So
Yes.
there's also 5 points that goes towards originality.
Originality.
Right.
Yes.
And originality. So we're going to listen to that song, and if we're getting a deja vu, if we're saying, we've heard that before.
What about recurring lyrics? Because some people are recycled lyrics. Would that affect your originality?
Well, it depends. It depends, because if you are using your craft to kind of bring forth a message of something gone by, and you are quoting, you're making a quote, it depends on how you bring it. But if you are writing your song, and I can clearly hear these two lines, we've heard that before, somebody else, or we heard that in Trinidad, or we heard that 10 years ago, that is different.
What about the actual treatment of your topic or your title of your song?
Okay.
So, for instance, when I say treatment, I mean, for instance, how you describe your story, the descriptiveness,
Is that
the language,
is that the perspective,
the use of
the
language,
perspective from which the topic is taken? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
the language use of language. Some calypsos could just be simple, but then some, the adjectives you really
Right.
describe
Right.
and the actual use of language is different
It's
and
different.
deeper.
It's different. It's deeper, as you say. Yes, but as a judge, that's why you need to be very knowledgeable about literature, know about the history of calypso, and understand the language, because the question you're asking based on the choice of words, some people might think that you come with a doctorate thesis that's going to give you a good song. It's really individually we're going to assess the song. You might have a song like back in the 80s, I Sing in Sankey. You come and you say, I sing in Sankey song. Very powerful. Somebody could come and explain that sentence, I'm singing Sankey, in 2 lines. We are going to pursue you for whatever. But that one word, Sankey, it's simple. Doesn't mean it's a bad calypso. It's actually a masterpiece. So individually, we look at the figurative language, we look at what is brought forth, and it's judged individually. So there's no one formula, but we assess the effect of the words that you choose and how you put it together.
I remember some years ago, Shadow Flow had a song, the rum and the party. And he came for the rum and the party and not for the Calypso on stage, but then he structured it. He had a storyline. He had the fundamentals of Calypso. But then there
Right.
were Calypso fans who were saying, because I guess it wasn't political or maybe social, it was not a Calypso. So
Okay, so let us remember too that the judges are not AI; these are humans. So there'll be flaws sometimes. There'll be mistakes sometimes. I was not present that year as a judge. In my opinion, that's a great piece.
yeah.
That's a wonderful piece. Everything is there, but we cannot really just talk about that one calypso because judging takes place on the night, and I do not know who the other competitors were. I cannot remember right now. So you could have a great piece that doesn't make
And
it as well,
others may
and there
have
are
better.
others might have better. But
No,
one
but
of
it's not the matter of others having better. It's the mere fact that the sound, the composition itself,
the
some people felt it was not a calypso because of the topic and the treatment.
okay, well, I don't know about some people. Are you referring to
Well,
judges?
general,
Or...
not general, the general calypso public.
But of course, it's a calypso because it deals with life. You know, it is very relevant to what actually takes place at the tent. I mean, there was everything in that calypso when I think of it.
Because some people do come for the party and the rum.
Some people do come for the party and the rum.
and never
And
hear a song.
right. So if I'm asked as a judge to look at that calypso, I see everything is there, but there's something very important that we have to remember. The judging criteria is 100 points, 35 for lyrics, 35 for melody, and 30% on the night. That covers rendition and presentation. So while it's a great calypso, calypso is not judged at the tents, in the studio, on social media, in the bar, or anywhere else. It's judged on the night. So if you ask me what was his rendition that night, what it is he could have lost, you know, out of that 30 points that depends on the night, maybe he didn't present it as well as he did in the tents or elsewhere. So it's something that we cannot even say that even if it was a great piece, I can acknowledge that. I cannot say that I do not have the information to say that that song should have made it to the finals.
Melody. I mean, and it carries the same amount of points as lyrics, 25 points. How do you judge melody of a calypso?
Okay, so on melody, we're looking at what we call the basic melody, you know, the bongs, the swing, the tune, the rhythm, as well as how accurate, how it corresponds to the message. You know, so for example, you have a lovely melody, nice tune, everything. We can bounce to it. It catches you one time, but you are singing about a death, and here you are, yeah, and like we're rejoicing, are we rejoicing? um we're talking about a serious topic, so you know it has a melody, is melody, but the lyrics and melody, they actually go together, because in that part of it we are not only looking at the tune, because some people will say, wow, that is that, when we hear that we must stamp our feet, we must start jumping. Yes, it is, we're looking for that, but we are looking at how that marries the lyrics, the topic, and the mood. Is it bringing forth the mood that we expect with the message that you're bringing
But
forth?
then how would you differ from song to song? Which song carries a better melody from song to song? Because yes, like both of us could have our mood and both of us could, but then which song would carry more points under the 35 than another song? Basically, both of them are good.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens is when you are judging, let us say we are in the semifinals with 20 Calypsonians, and we are listening to this one song. We are not, well, my strategy, I am not weighing my judgment against another song. I'm listening to that song, I'm looking at the lyrics, and let us imagine a teacher judging out of 100%. You're looking at the criteria and you're doing that. At the end, when you look at it, you will see how it came against another.
Yeah, but then you still are telling me, I mean, what, for instance, to what I should look for, or what as a consumer,
Mhm.
how would I know a sound is more melodious and another song. That is what I was really trying to get at. I know if it's the singability, if it is the Jack and Jill went up the hill, that is what I'm more kind of trying to look for so we can break it down so our ordinary listeners can better understand because 45 points is a lot of points, and whether if that same melody because some Calypsonians sing in particular keys. And you wanted to add something, Joey? Okay, all right. Joey is also a musician, and I'm happy that Joey is also. Hold on a while. Let me just introduce you. You're a Calypsonian, a Calypso writer, and the new PRO of the association. But you wanted to assist us in understanding melody.
Yes, okay. Melody has different components, but basically what you're looking for is harmony in the music, the way the music transitions, smooth, singable. It also has to do with, and I'm just for the basic mind, right? Or people who right. You want to know that the person is singing in key and singing with the melody. There are people who do not sing in key, like who are not good singers like Shadow, but Shadow has a great melody because.
Are you talking about the TNT Shadow?
Yeah, the TNT Shadow.
Not Shadow Flow. Not the shadow that flows.
He also has his melody. He also, if you listen to his music and the way his voice blends, that's where it comes in.
Yes, yes.
That's what I think as a judge. I've been a Calypso judge before. You have to be able to read that. So the sweetness of the melody, how it flows. That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
And you're singing in key, of course.
Okay, thank you very much for a little addition there. And then we go into rendition. 20 points is a lot of points. What do you look for as a judge when it comes to rendition?
Okay, so in rendition, we are looking at articulation, which is 10 points. We're looking at diction, 5 points, and voice quality.
Okay, so let's go to articulation first.
Okay.
When you go to articulation, a song perform or a singer is on stage singing. What do you look for in terms of articulation?
Okay, so the word articulation, just as in speaking, we know we are looking at how the words are formulated, so you come there and you are talking about a man went down the road and you sing, you have a potato in your mouth, and articulation deals with how you formulate the words and we understand what you're saying from the start to the end of the phrase.
Which part when Calypsonians forget some of the words or swallow some of the lyrics would it fall under?
Okay, so that's a good question because we spoke about rendition and present performance being on the night, but rendition could affect the lyrics. You could also lose points in the lyrics because of bad rendition.
If you swallow,
you swallow, and the story doesn't make sense because a lot of people speak like that and sing like that. They start at a certain level and then they go down. I'm going down the road and I saw, and we're not sure who you saw at the end of it. And that is another part of it because we might know what you're saying because we heard it on the radio or in the tent. But on the night, your articulation was not there. And you lose points in articulation, but you also lose points in lyrics because the fact that we could not understand certain things, the story coming together doesn't make sense.
Okay, Joe, you wanted to add something?
That is very true. You may have the lyrics on paper, but the way you articulate, the way you bring it out, the way your tone, basically, yeah, the way you speak.
And what about repetitious of lyrics? Because we have heard or seen and experienced situations where Calypso repeat verses under which section that would come across.
Well,
or repeat lines.
Well, on the lyrics. On the lyrics, yeah, because the narrative might not make sense
at the time.
At the time, if you sang one verse twice, because something is missing, obviously. So that would come on the lyrics.
Or sometimes you sing in the structure and let's say the narrative. If it doesn't make much sense, sometimes some verses, second and third, may be coherent. But then if it is not, what happens then? It actually just put off the song if you sing a second verse in the first of the.
It does not put off the song altogether.
Yes, it's
Because
part of
remember,
it.
part of it.
And that's where you lose.
So that's where you
points.
lose points.
Mhm.
And that is why we have people who have made mistakes and still make it, because you lose
Yes.
points in one area. That doesn't mean your total presentation is bad.
Yeah.
You're still strong. Your rendition was good. Your diction was good. Presentation and so forth. But you might have lost some in structure, maybe narrative, that kind of thing.
Yes, Joey, you wanted to add
No,
something?
the judge is very correct. It's a mix, but particularly on the lyrics, you may bring in some lyrics that people haven't heard before, but once it makes sense to your narrative, then you would get
That's a
Right,
flow.
right,
Yes.
right. Because we
There's
have heard.
also,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry,
Go
there's
ahead.
also some repetition where you can, I mean, we have two Calypsonians I know who are very good at that. You may hear a repeat line, but they are able to make it come in and make sense with the melody and with the whole narrative. And I know particularly Hunter and Dice are good at that.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're good.
I was about to say that there are times that we hear something different on the night, and people would say, "Wow, but he faux pas, faux pas." But sometimes he might have forgotten his lyrics and said something that makes perfect sense. It
So
fits
you
in the
listen to
narrative.
whatever.
You listen
Yeah.
to it on the night, and that doesn't mean that he forgot or it's a faux pas. It might be a deliberate change. Who knows? But once it comes forth, and it makes sense. That's what we're judging, not what
Because-
we've heard before.
Yes, Joey.
Because I remember once Daddy Chess forgot his song, and Daddy Chess extempored the whole song and came second in the competition.
Yeah.
You know?
Because
I
it
think that
made
was his
sense.
first song.
Whatever he
Yes, he
extempored.
you know what his storyline was, and he was it was a slow enough song, and Daddy Chess, you just knew it wasn't the same song you heard, but it was totally sensible, and he came second in the competition, almost sang a whole new song.
Presentation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so presentation that involves the performance, 5 points. When we talk about presentation, we're going to look at props and so forth. But dealing with props, you have to be very careful. It's how it is used to enhance your presentation.
Performance.
It's not because you come with a helicopter on stage that, wow.
You get more points.
Yeah, because it could be distracting as well if it's going on while you're singing. So we're looking at that. You could also come with no props at all and get your full marks for presentation because we got your attention and you brought forth. And then your stage presence is how comfortable you are on stage, the charisma. Are you at home? Are you looking like somebody forced you to be there? How you take charge of your space, your stage presence.
Does your vocal quality gives you an advantage? Because sometimes, okay, let us, and just for two examples that comes to mind immediately, Dice, and when Bob sings, you actually every single word uttered very clearly. Does that enhances, and I guess it would be easier for the judges to hear everything, but does that give you an added advantage?
It doesn't give you an added advantage out of that section of the criteria. Okay, obviously articulation is going to help you in lyrics, as I mentioned before, but voice quality is 5 points.
Yeah.
So it might have been the best voice I ever heard. Wow, I can't give you more than 5 points because you're great. And then we have a way of looking at judging voice quality. There are different types of voices. It's not because it's just smooth and wow, that's a songbird. That's all.
Yeah.
For example, Shadow Flow. When Sower sang I Enjoy My Life, that was the best voice for that song. When we had Stefan who come on stage to sing that song written by Hicksy about Love Dominica, it was a sweet song. It was a nice voice. Now let's exchange it. Let's put Stefan to sing I Enjoy My Life. And let us put Sower to sing, So the type of voice, everybody has a chance. You're on key and you're articulating, you're bringing forth the message. Every voice is a good voice.
Off key. We know have a few Calypsonians. Shine laughing. Off key. Yes. Lose points for that. It's on the melody?
It
would be on the melody.
It comes on the melody. It comes on the melody. Off key.
Flat.
Or right.
It may not be totally off key, but if you go
Going flat.
and your music has a real nice melody, you get lost.
Right.
Sometimes you escape if your music, it depends.
Right.
But most times you go flat. That's
Right.
it. Now, some people can go without tripping. Some people can go off key and come back on.
Yeah.
Some people, when they go off, they stay off.
Right, right.
Some people
And
might be off also.
all through. And that is why, as a judge,
What about what's our partner, my boy? Fonda, Fonda, Fonda. Fonda.
what happened to
No,
Fonda?
I love him. I love him, but
Fonda has a unique
he's not his voice. We're talking about his voice. We're talking about the key. Music playing one way, and he's on a different channel.
like a fun whiskey. No,
Sometimes he
put
sings.
that to
Sometimes he
the-
sings faster than the what you're hearing. You know what you're actually hearing. But we understood. We
Yeah,
understood
yeah,
the
yeah,
gist.
I just want to add to that. Speaking about singing in key
Yeah.
and the music is one way, and then you have those flats. You know, it's very important. It highlights the musicians themselves
Yeah.
that the musicians need to play in key, and that if one goes off, I tell you, when I'm on stage, I'm talking about myself. I can hear every musician at the back of me.
What about
Probably
that?
not.
What about what I mean?
Probably not
this is
every
critical.
Calypsonian
This is
can
critical,
do
you know.
that.
No, but this is
But
critical.
Somebody who's musically trained, you are at the front singing on the stage, and you can hear
Right.
every musician where certain things go, and that can distract you.
This,
Right.
That can cause you to go
Mhm.
flat too.
Right, right.
yeah, but then in a case like that, that is why I think Norman later said some time ago that judges should have some musical
Yes,
knowledge.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
To
And-
observe that,
mhm,
you have to have
mhm.
some musical
Yes.
Right,
knowledge.
right, right.
And it doesn't mean everyone, but at
Mhm,
least
mhm.
maybe frequenters
Yeah.
of the panel
Right.
to guide the others.
Mhm.
Because I guess you have deliberation at
Right,
the end.
right, right.
So you know that would come in.
Yeah.
In the instances where the band now,
Mhm.
like she said, puts
Right.
you off.
So that is
Yes.
why it is important as a judge to have some knowledge of music, because there are times, we're looking at the melody, the harmony, what you bring forth and so, but you have to be able to have that good ear. You must have an ear, one, to know what's on key, what's off key, flat, and so forth, but to also distinguish between what's on the Calypsonian and what's on the band. There are times we come, one time we hear something off with the band, and the band can put off a Calypsonian one time, and you have to be able to have.
Stop the performance then. Let's
I
suppose
have-
the band. The band, in your opinion, the band is the issue.
I think I've witnessed that, before. I've witnessed that
witnesses-
before, where the judge would come together and, with the kind of pass the message on to the chief judge.
So that the
It's
MC
a
Yeah.
judgment call.
Yeah, it's a judgment call, and I
But
think
most times
it has happened
and
once.
it's unfortunate.
you can't,
Most times they pass.
because if
Yeah.
the band
Yeah.
is the problem in that particular sound, the judgment of that particular sound will not be fair,
Hmm.
because the band will not play what practice or what
Well,
they
It could
practice.
just be one musician or
Yeah.
two that's off.
Oh,
It's probably not the entire band.
yes.
But then again, when the song has already taken off, you can't just stop almost every performance in competition. You just have to go ahead. If
So that is how often you
So-
make those little mistakes come in, man.
It happens. It
Okay,
happens.
it happens.
And the judges, I think, should use their discretion at that point
Mhm.
and not fault the Calypsonian on the side of the Calypsonian, especially if the Calypsonian has kept to most of the criteria. Just
You
go
see-
on the side of the Calypsonian.
Yes, but surely you see, but you cannot give them an advantage above another Calypsonian who did not go off. So the Calypsonian normally stops the band. Because if you could have scraped through, but the band threw you off, and I didn't go off because the band didn't throw me off, you will suffer ultimately. Because
I
you
think
went off.
the best thing if it
It's
gets
just
you
unfortunate,
observe the band, because they are human and sometimes they may have so many songs to play. I think the best thing is to if it is grave enough,
Right, it has to be
and
grave.
it puts, off your
right. And
performance,
it has to be glaring
and
to
it
make
puts
that
off your
distinction.
performance and your flow, because it's a mental, your preparation.
Yes. Mhm.
How should Calypsonians prepare? The do's and don'ts of how should Calypsonians prepare? Because I don't, like you said, I think, and I took note of it. Some Calypsonians singing and they don't know
Mhm.
the criteria,
Mhm.
which is what you said as a judge.
Right, right. Now, what I would like to say before I talk about that part of it, I just want to dispel the myth that judges are against Calypsonians, or we come there to press people, or we have favorites and so forth. I can speak for myself, I come from a family of musical artists, and I have the greatest respect for artists and their craft. I know that every Calypso piece is a work of art, and every Calypsonian has the potential of bringing forth a masterpiece. When we go into eliminations, I do not go there with the man's mindset that what question did I want to come in with for? You know, that kind of thing would be. Because one year you have something wonderful about the song and you're lacking a lot. Another year, something else. But one year, it might all come together. And we never know who will come up with a masterpiece one year. So we go there with the mindset open that it's a even playing field for everybody. So
But why you guys are not friendly with the public? You hardly, for instance, today I expected a full team of judges, and we only ended up with you alone. I mean, why are judges fearful of the public? We are when every judgment, almost every judgment, we know one, it's the final. Judges' decisions are final, but then judges seem to fear coming and explain their judgments. When
Okay.
you did the judgment, you know, at least we want to learn. So that a particular Calypsonian,
Okay.
if he understands the judgment,
Right.
that he can possibly learn and avoid making the same
Right.
mistakes over.
So I cannot say that the judges are fearful of coming here like today.
So what I'm doing is,
Well, people are working, some are overseas, some people are unable to be
no,
here.
we can afford, no, man,
However-
we can facilitate at least. You have a panel about how many? About 20 judges. We can facilitate. We could. We have got Zoom and we
Right.
have.
But as I mentioned before, we have had a very first encounter between judges and the Calypsonians that took place 3 weeks ago at the Calypso Association. And I personally encourage such encounters because every season, as you know, judges get blows, you know, and we're very willing and open to answer any question. Because as I was saying, I respect the craft and we are all on the same side.
Are
and
you
that
paid?
No, we are not. We're
It's
not.
all voluntary.
Right.
But you get a little stipend,
No.
a few drinks, and thank you very much.
And food.
And food. No, I mean,
We had the show.
no, it's
And all
okay.
the
if
shows
you-
that
I
they're
mean,
not even judging.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
do you
Yeah.
feel as a judge that you need a little stipend off and on for? Because to me, judging how many Calypsonians? 50 Calypsonians is hard work.
From elimination.
Okay,
From
so it is
eliminations.
hard work, but we are there for the art form, and that is something that
I'm just
we,
asking,
even among judges, we are not all we have various opinions on that. I, for one, I have already said at a meeting, I don't think we should receive a stipend.
Okay.
I don't think we should be paid because I believe once you come in to do that, and people might come in for the wrong reason.
I agree.
I believe that the sole reason should be the love for the art form and the fact that we want to make a contribution to what's going on. And I think that if it's somebody might have another opinion and debate that because maybe I can come and I can afford to do that. Maybe somebody might feel it's gas, it's time of their work. After every show, we also have postmortems. So some people might actually need a little contribution, to keep doing it. But I just feel that we have to ensure that these things, that we are there for the right reason, and we would get, the better intentions if the sole reason is just to make a contribution.
I love that. I love that. Joey, you wanted
Yeah,
to add
so
something?
what? So let's I like where the judge took us. Let's stick around the art form and the where you were going there.
No, I ask because people the criticisms, the public. I'm not sure if they are aware this is a voluntary situation and the judges are human. But when people come to support their Calypsonian, and we all know it, people come and they want their Calypsonian to be in whatever the next round.
Yeah, but
And
they're not-
the first attack is on the judges. The first attack.
The first attack is on the judges. And the question you asked just before, what the general public needs to understand first and foremost, the judging, it's not based on crowd response. Because
Or what
when we
the
look
crowd
or
like.
what the crowd
Or
like,
the rotation of the song on
Because-
the radio.
right, it is not judged, as I said before, at the tents. It is not judged on the radio. It's not judged on social media. Because remember, the general public might be reacting to one aspect of the criteria. So if you are fascinated by the lyrics, boy, that's a good song. I heard that and whatever. And he didn't make it through. He had the best song. But did you see how he presented it? Were you there to assess the rendition?
But then judges are also human. A Calypsonian come and mash up. There go jacket, mash up the place. he is within the the
Right.
criteria.
So as I said, he come and he mash up the place. We are in agreement with the judge. Yes, he was the greatest. But
There's no impact.
we were fascinated by his presentation criteria.
Yeah, but then let's suppose
There is no impact.
let us suppose two Calypsonians. Both of them they followed the criteria and they score high on the criteria. One maybe lukewarm in terms of his performance, in terms of the crowd participation. The other one, and they're similar points, and you are human. You don't at least measure the impact or of the presentation on that doesn't matter at all.
You cannot do that. We're looking at stage presence and performance.
Right.
And don't forget there are several judges.
Mr. Zotan, so not even right. We understand.
And don't forget there are several judges.
Right. I love that.
So at eliminations, there are 3 judges. At the quarterfinals, there are 5. There are 7 at 7 at semi-finals. And there are 9 judges at the finals.
Because a lot of us come to the Calypso and I'm speaking about us, the fans, and then we're looking at mashup crowd.
Right.
Crowd response.
Also, which is very important. When we go there, some people have heard things like that one neighbor and cousin, and I sure she put some points for this one and that one. That cannot happen because when we put the scores together, we're going to eliminate the highest and the lowest. So if you have a grudge up against somebody and in 1 second you put them very low, it's not going to work. You're trying to put somebody very high, it's not going to work. So the 9 judges come together and we go at the back to deliberate. Now, when we look at our scores and we compare our scores, somebody might be, but wait a while, most of us have that person high up there and you have them low. Why? You have to justify, you have to explain.
As in the deliberation section.
So it is not just, I like the song. Oh, it was nice. No, you have to explain.
No, you haven't got like song and they're nice.
You have to explain based on the criteria. And this is what? Is there something that we all didn't see that you saw?
Right.
So you have to bring it forth and let us understand. And let me tell you something, deliberation is very heated. People tend to think like it's a little clique of people and we judge the show before the show and we know what we're going to put. No. You have your opinion. We all have our opinions. At the back there, it gets heated. I've seen people cry. I've seen people had to be separated because fight was about to take place. We don't generally always agree. But you're going to say, this is what happened, and I am not going to place him in the top 4 because this is what he did. This is what here I can show you scientifically, basically on the criteria. That was lacking. And we come together and we bring forth the best results that we can.
Okay, I love that. Add a little, then we get in, you have Luscious, your song haven't released yet. We'll start with you and then we'll end with Luscious because I want them to let go their songs. You have to go back for time? Okay, great. So let us
add a quick point. Also, there's the Calypsonian who, when he sings, will silence the crowd.
Yes.
Depending on the impact.
Yes.
That is also important to watch. So you may say by
spellbound.
Spellbound. And that is also
crowd response.
Yeah,
that is crowd response also.
Of course, that's crowd response.
That is crowd response.
Unlike the junior Calypsonians, though, there is a section for crowd response.
In the junior.
Right? And that is why we have the students come and scream for your school because whatever. And as Joey was saying, it is very important because crowd response, silencing that crowd is response.
Of course, it's response.
Right? So we have to look at that. And it is a debate. Should that be included in the criteria? So that is debatable. But for now, it's not.
And
so we have to
not
judge
only that, the
accordingly.
word here is not response, impact. That is the important.
Come, Luscious. Come, Luscious. Come, get close to your sister, Shirley. Because we're going and let it go.
Are we checking the comments online though? Because they're very interesting.
I know, very. If you can read some.
I'm trying to.
If you can read some, because my eyesight is about 15 to 16, it's not 2020 anymore.
Sean can help us with that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not releasing today. I'm here. I'm in the capacity of Vice President of the Dominican Calypso Association and Joey as PRO. Yeah. And of course, I'm also on the Mass Camp Executive. So
we're going to talk about that in a while.
Room, we talk about all of that.
We're going to talk about it in a while. And but you have to tell us about your song about Silver Lake. Tell us about Silver Lake. That's not the same song you're singing? Right. So Luscious, what's up?
Good morning to you, Alex. Good morning to our judge, executives of Calypso Association, the listening public, and of course fans.
Yeah. How was the eliminations?
The eliminations was good enough. No, I mean, with everything, yes, there can be improvements, but yes.
But how you felt your performance?
I felt the musical accompaniment was a little off, in my opinion.
You think the
but
guys didn't have your song? Well, remember, it's not a little combo now,
Yeah.
pre-profile as well. Eliminations, man. Things going to step up from quarters.
But I went out there, I did my thing. Yes.
Were you confident that you would have
Yes,
gone
I
through?
was. Yes, I was.
Your material. Tell us about your song.
Okay, it was written by, the name of the song is Sing Calypso.
Sing Calypso.
Sing Calypso.
Mhm.
So it talks about Calypsonians on a whole taking ahead. I mean, we have so many other genres out there, and Calypso is our thing, and we should be aiming for pushing what is our own. I mean, I know what there are other Calypsonians who go out there, they're into the bouillon, they're into the soca, but Calypso is our thing. So we as men, women, Calypsonians on a whole, just go out there and try to make what Calypso should be.
Absolutely. And it was written by
Arthur Bassi Pascal.
Your normal writer.
Yes.
The same one for the barber shop.
Yes, and
Soursop, barber shop, Soursop. And this time you come more
yes, I wasn't
conscious.
there last year.
You wasn't there, yeah?
Due to health reasons, but I am on this year, and I intend to go in.
How do you feel as a woman in part of the big ring?
As a woman Calypsonian, I feel good.
Yes.
I feel like we are so limited in numbers, but we should have a little more women to come in. There are so many women out there who love the art form, and they have voices as well. But some of them, I mean, I was shy when I came,
But now you feel you're more matured.
Yes. And they said you have done good. You have improved along the way,
All right.
And that's what I like. I like the criticism, the positive criticism. I like to learn. So, I came in the first year, person saying maybe you should do this, you should do that, and I listened, and I'm trying my best,
Okay. You want to give us a little acapella now?
Oh.
Okay, start the song for us, man. Shan, start the song when it reaches to thing. I know, give her a headphone, let her listen so she can follow what's going on. Give her a headphone so she can follow. We are live on the big session. This is Creole Heartbeat. We are here with the Calypso Association judges. We have members. We'll take in a few calls in a while. But let's go with Luscious, Monsieur Mesdames Anoy, La Jebagaila, DJ Shan.
Yes, listeners, Dominican. Mr. Calypsonian, are you ready to entertain, to lift people from their stress and pain, to criticize the failings of government and things to my nation's detriment? Well, if so, my mission has started, my armor is on to lift up the spirit of the Calypso man. I am faced with heavy opposition. I want you to join me, march and sing with me. No matter how strong is the opposition, let's all sing together and defend the art form. Sing, Calypsonian, sing. What is sing?
Sing!
What is sing?
ACS, sing! Sandra, sing!
After rhythm, we have a duty to point out problems and give solutions on how to fix them. And when people are not treated fair, yes, the judges, politicians that don't care. As ambassadors, we must give them Calypso pressure. So sing, Dicey, sing, Observer, sing, Shirley, sing, Jama, sing. Sing, Bobby, Jenny, and Mystery. Sing, Luscious, sing, Luscious, sing.
Okay, let's take another verse, Shan. We're going to another verse, man. Kaiso. Second verse, we're coming up, Lushy.
Woman Calypsonian, let your fear to educate, to lift people from their ignorance state, to demonstrate for the real issues. Don't get caught up in personal abuse. My mission is ongoing, things still on course, to fulfill dreams that we have lost. I am faced with the young generation. Some are not culture conscious, some are very ambitious. No matter how strong other genres may sound, we must never forget we all in Calypso plantation. Sing, Calypsonian, sing. Raise your voices loud and sing. Sing, Calypsonian, sing. Give them rhythm after rhythm. We have a duty to point out problems and give solutions on how to fix them. And when people are not treated fair, here's the judges, politicians that don't care. As ambassadors, we must give them Calypso pressure. Now sing thy thing, sing observer, sing thriller, sing Tasha, sing. Sing Bobby, Lady Cyan Mystery. Sing Lusha, sing Lusha, sing.
Sai, eu já conheço você. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Si body bon. Eu já conheço. Luscious, which tent will you be?
At the Stardom 10.
At the startup tent. When will the startup tent be opening?
We're officially opening on the 25th.
25th?
Saturday.
I think it's next week Saturday.
Yes.
Next week Saturday. And you feel very confident with this one?
Yes.
To go further than Soursop and Barber Shop. Okay.
This one is talking about Calypso.
Calypso
we
itself.
Dominican populace, we love our Calypso. Man, woman, child,
Yeah.
elders.
You feel the Calypso need more respect?
Yes, we do. Of
Absolutely.
course, we have the Booyah locally, but Calypso has been there first, and we need to push it a little more.
Okay, Lushy, I know you have to run, but good luck and see you at the tents.
Thank you, Wani.
We are not going to comment and judge on your song today.
No, we're not going to comment and judge, but I would say that the camera should have been on Joey because the impact was very.
I know. All right, Paddy Movement.
Thank you to the listeners out there.
So Shelly, come, Lady S. Okay, see you, Lushy. So Lady S, what's up? Again, we have been in the background. What are you at the Calypso session again? Vice President. First female Vice President.
And Lusha spoke about our limited numbers and the women coming out to sing. Some are shy and they should come out to sing. But I think that a lot of them should come and join the executive.
The executive?
Yes.
Okay, and be part
because
of the
executive is the one who makes the decisions to run the shows and all of that. So they should be part of the executive. The executives of their tents, the executive of the Calypso.
Be more involved,
of course,
into the art form.
It's not just come in and sing every season and who's looking to get the crown to be first female monarch or second female monarch or whatever. It's putting on the shows as well. The administrative part is very, very
Before
important.
you tell us about Silver Lake, someone has been trying to get us for the longest while. Let's take a call. Good morning. We have Judge, Calypso members, association members in the building. Good morning. Hello, good morning, Creole Heartbeat.
Okay, good morning, Leroy. How are you, Leroy?
How are you, Emil?
All right. Good morning to the ladies and Joey. Good morning to you, my brother.
We have Joey in the building also.
Morning, Babin. Morning.
Joey, get closer to the cameraman. We have Tasha from. We have Tasha Henderson, one of the judges. We have Lady S, and we also have the explosion.
All right. First of all, Wadi. Let me ask the judge a question. On a statement. Some people think that some of the judges have a tendency to favor the veterans over the newcomers. Okay, I want to hear opinion on that. And number two, if an artist creates his own melody, his own style, and uses it every year, if a little tweak here and there, how critical is that? Is that allowed? And another question. Mm-hmm. If a Calypsonian, an artist, has a song that has really good lyrics and his chorus is not linking too much with his lyrics. How critical is that? And another question: if a guy makes a song, an artist makes a song with just really good lyrics and don't necessarily have a chorus, is that acceptable? I'm gonna hang up and listen. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Tasha, I hope you heard the
Yeah.
response.
I think I
In a nutshell, yeah.
heard
Go
about
some.
4 different questions. But before I answer, I would like to just say something very important. I saw a question on Facebook talking about selection of judges, and so it is very important to note. Let me just say quickly that to become a judge, a Calypso judge, there's a whole process that you go through. All right. Currently, we have a very competent judges coordinator. That is Mignon Roll Shillingford. We have a chief judge, very experienced and knowledgeable, Ian Dorival, and we have about 20 judges. Basically, when you come forth with your interest, you need to have a little Calypso background, you know something, and there's a number of workshops that we go through. So it's not just, oh, you are so and so, come and join. There are a number of workshops on story writing, on the lyrics, the melody part of it. We have a lot of professionals who come in, to do a lot of training, and you spend some time shadow judging for a number of years. And that is, you come to the show and you judge in the same conditions as the real judges, and your points are taken, and the panel of judges with the chief judge and the senior judges, they take a look at it to see.
But then it's not tabulated with the rest of
No,
the
it's not
judges.
tabulated.
It's just to monitor.
It's just to monitor
how close you are with the other
you are.
judges. Yeah.
Right. So it's a whole process. And I must say, and even as a judge, we continue training, and there are the programs in place. We're going to do some more on music and that sort of thing. And as I said, 2 weeks ago, we had a workshop where we came together, new judges as well as senior judges, and we judged an entire St. Lucia Calypso show in the presence of Ian Jackson and Kelly the Ghost Williams. And afterwards, we, presented our scores and explained why we did this and so forth. So being a judge is not just fly by night, as one might say. It's a whole training to get there. So the first question was, do we favor veterans? Absolutely not. I mean, everybody might have there might be some bias. I cannot speak for everybody. There might be one person on the panel who just absolutely loves that Calypsonian, and they have but as I say once again, when we come to analyze the criteria, there is no such thing.
Deliberation.
At the deliberation, there is no such thing. So the first one, no, veterans are not. And in fact, there's much excitement every year. We are encouraging people to get involved. A newcomer is just as exciting. This person, oh my, where did he come from? He has a great piece this year. So that's welcome, just as any other Calypsonian. The second question was, if somebody has their own melody and it's repeated. So let us distinguish between melody and style. If you're coming with the same melody every year, obviously it's lacking originality. But if you're coming with your style, that's positive. A lot of Calypsonians have their own style. There are some people, from the time we hear it, like, bam, we know who it is because there is a style. So style is one thing, melody is another thing. The two other questions, chorus linking with your lyrics, if you have a chorus.
Coherence.
Yeah. So that comes under coherence, of course, because if you have a title and you're dealing with a topic and you have some well-structured verses that tells a story, but the chorus or the punchline is off, is like, what does that have to do with what you're saying? Obviously, on the narrative coherence, we're going to have some problems. And he was also saying his fourth question, which was just the reverse of that same question. If you have good lyrics, not good chorus. So basically, he has a little concern about, if you have good lyrics, the weight of the chorus. The weight of the chorus, obviously, that comes in the narrative, that comes under the structure. So it's about being consistent throughout.
Okay, more calls for George, just hold on a while. Let's try and see if we can take in as many calls because I want to hear about Silver Lake in a while. Okay, good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat.
Morning, Wally.
How are you, my dear?
Not too bad, I'm there. Wally, let me tell you what I have to say. I heard the judge, I heard everybody. But my view is that, Wally, if you are judging Calypso show, you must have some idea of music. I mean, you
Yes.
can be a number A, you can have different grades, but at least you have an idea.
Yeah.
You must, and I say must, have a command of the English language.
Yeah.
Sometimes a Calypsonian might be singing a tune and you certain words in a context and you don't understand the context. The person is singing the song. You have to be able to analyze that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even with the training, there are some people, Alex, you can train them, you can tell them that, but they haven't got a command of the English language and a command, not a command, have an idea of music, you in trouble. And Alex, every time I speak, I always remember singing Sandy Wadi.
Yeah.
That year singing Sandy. I mean, it is past there.
Yeah.
That year singing Sandy song, singing Sandy should have been crowned. But what I said, I was there, Alex. What I said in my mind, probably one or few of the judges did not understand. She said about black and come. I will say probably they did not understand the word comely. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you must have an idea, or you must have a thing of the English language. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very pertinent points there, but also Calypso itself has its own language. Calypso also has its. There's certain things you can say in Calypso that you may not be able to write in an English exam based on what Calypso is. I'm not sure if you want to comment, Joey or Lady S, on the caller's point because I think very pertinent points.
Yes, that's a point I made at the last judges training. I did ask the question
Okay, great,
about
perfect.
having some musical background.
Yes,
And also the command of the English language.
yes,
So that you understand where colloquialism is
yes,
coming from.
yes.
Because I remember there was one particular song where the lyrics went red, green, and blue uniting to ball suku. And there was one judge who didn't understand suku.
Yeah.
It just meant everybody unites now that you want help, like you want to help.
Because also
no, but the person
because also I mean quite a bit
yeah.
of
You have to know
Creole.
yes, you have.
Right.
Quite a bit of Creole because of our Creole background is also
Right.
placed in
And
the lyrics.
right, and that is one of the reasons why there's been a call for in order to have non-biased judges to bring in foreign judges. We cannot really do that
It will be
because
difficult.
it's very difficult. As we know in our calypsos, there's a lot of local, parlance. There's a lot of colloquial language, the Creole,
And
and
the
all of that.
Creole.
So,
Trinidad has that
so
too.
right. So it is fair, very good observation what the caller said, that you need to have that command of the English language, knowledge in literature and so forth, in music and whatnot, but also very good knowledge of the history of Calypso of Dominica, to know for the past few years what we've been having for the past decades, and to continue educating yourself, listening to what's going on in the region, and broadening your scope in your knowledge of Calypso.
Absolutely. Was the elimination successful, Joey and Lady S? You're there on the vice president. Was it a successful show? The eliminations.
Well, I would say that for the caliber of songs that came in,
Mhm.
really. And in terms of participation, we have seen participation gone down. Before, when people went to eliminations, you would have 70 something and 80 people registered, but we only had about 50.
50 this
49,
year.
50 this year. And up until the week of the show, we only had like 40. And later on, towards the end of the week, it increased to like 49, almost 50.
What about gate receipts?
Gate receipts, in terms of number of people, I think a lot of people opted to look online instead of coming in person.
Online was free, right?
It was. It was.
That was like a bonus for the fans.
Right. But we did not announce that previously, but some people decided to listen on the radio and to look online on Facebook.
But then come quarterfinals, it will be
yes, it will be paid
pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view and 40 in advance and so on. Joey, you wanna talk on that?
Okay, when is the
The
quarterfinals?
quarterfinals is the 1st of February.
1st of February.
And we can quickly tell you who's on.
Yes, tell us who's on,
Yes,
man. Tell
yes.
us who's
Before
on.
I make a point about, there's something Fabian said I want to refer to.
Yeah, tell us who's on. We know of the those who made it from eliminations to the quarters,
Okay.
and then
Okay, we have, that's the list of those who made it. Shadow Flow, Deros, King Caressa, Luscious, Soulpuss, Kalfa P, Mask Eruption, Nashel, Vigilante, Hixie, Lady S, Danyan. Now the three
standby. Yeah.
No, the three standbys were Jama B,
Mhm.
Bingo, and Prince of Peace, who are all in because we have people who are not turning up, and let me give you the names. Hold on.
Not turning up.
Let's
for
start
the
with Trilogy.
Hold on, not turning up for the.
They won't be
they were in the
at-
semifinals
yeah,
last
before,
year,
and they won't be in the quarters.
and they won't
this
be
year.
in the quarters this year. Okay.
For different reasons. Trilogy,
Yes, it's not.
Black Diamond, Healer,
These three will
no,
not be.
and Oracle. So we are now
four.
Looking for-
So you
we've
might
been
have
looking for
So you might have to go to the tabulations of the
Yes,
eliminations
yes,
to
yes.
select who would come out after the
Right.
three standbys.
now.
Okay.
I want to make a quick point about what Fabian was talking
Yeah,
about.
do it quickly because we
Yes,
have to
about
run
having
out.
the chorus. If you remember that song Progress from King Austin,
Yes.
there wasn't a separate chorus,
No.
but a flowing
Yes,
different.
yes,
That
yes.
is a good calypso, and that was a winner. So you don't
Absolutely.
necessarily need a separate chorus.
Shirley, I want you to sing the song, but then we haven't got enough time because I believe it's a
Not
very
only that, the quarters are $40 in advance.
yes.
50 at the gates.
Is that is there
And
an
60
increase?
for seating.
Is there an increase or?
Well, let's say these are the very low prices that we have.
I understood the Newton Savannah is now available because the competing event will be taking place at the Kinfield Airstrip.
Whether
Are
that
you
news has
thinking-
reached us, I don't know.
Are you really thinking of the Newton Savannah?
No,
You
no,
still
no,
will
we're
be
not going
sticking to the
Oh, yeah.
because the finals
forecourt,
the
yeah.
finals used to be reasonably comfortable at the Newtown Savannah.
Yes, those were the
Will you be on parade tomorrow? Is the opening? Will Calypso be on parade?
You want the Calypso executive to be on parade?
No, I know normally the reigning Calypso monarch and so it's
That
normally
hasn't happened for a while.
no. I'm just asking because I mean normally
I'm not aware that
the
we were
king.
invited.
Well, I'm not sure if they're invited officially, but if that is not so, something is wrong. But I believe they should be.
Absolutely.
I believe they are. Normally, the reigning monarch and the queen, they would normally lead the parade. And a lot of people don't know you guys, you know.
Yeah.
So you should have a
No,
float.
no, but
A lot of people, and not everyone is on social media. A lot of people do not know you guys. One of those days, you should have a flat bed, and most of the Calypsonians, the finalists at least, or the semi-finalists from last year, come on a truck.
that is something we have.
Will you have a truck on the road? Carnival Monday and Tuesday.
No, we're not going to have a truck on the road. What
But-
we're going to do is support the people who already play Calypso on the road.
Why not swinging stars on the road and serenade on the road?
So they are both on the road, usually on the road. So we
So
support
we-
this.
You're giving them some financial
Yes.
assistance?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's official. That's
That's
confirmed.
official. It's confirmed.
Serenade, swinging stars on your, but you have to be in Roseau, not anywhere else. So Roseau Carnival on the road. The association will give you some money, but we have to make way for the news, guys. I want to thank you, Tasha, once again. Brilliant, Lady S. I want to give another knock to the association for guys and Calypsonians to come and release their songs next week. We're going to sing Kaiso, get people to get familiar with some of the new sounds. Lady S, even if your song is not released yet, come and sing Silver Lake. That is my song because my community is very close to Silver Lake, and for some reason we understand the plight of the
Yes.
Silver Lake
And
people.
even us in the valley, you know.
And yeah, well, Silver Lake is part of the valley, and more of us are from the valley. Joey, once again, thank you for coming. Tasha,
Yes, thank you so much.
on the
I
association.
want to thank those online too.
Yes,
because
those online.
Is there, Hixie's there. I see our fans are there.
See next week. Come on.
And to the Calypsonians, I just want to say quickly, those who are coming up in the next round, preparation is key. You know, get your work on your articulation, work on your diction, get to know the criteria, prepare yourself. You know, don't just come and it's not just I memorize my song and that's it. Work on your delivery, and we the judges, we are there on the same side, promoting the art form of Calypso in Dominica.
Another Creole Heartbeat where we explored Calypso, Calypso Georgian, and other few Calypsonians. Another program next week Friday with the association. Select some of the Calypsonians, make Calypso come and sing. We're singing Calypso next week again. Okay? We're going to have Calypso until the semi-quarterfinals. So every Friday, Calypso till the next. So you and Bob and Observer and Narin not playing Major Docking. More Calypso. The news major comes up next.
For only wonders you done for us all, spreading the culture all over the world. For only good thing that you done for God, that's why we continue. We thanking you, brother.